spent it in good company, and of all the holidays. And we are live! Hi, everybody. Let's get the lovely chat all good and going. Ray, good to see you, glad to have you. Jubilant, good to see you, glad to have you. Sarah, good to see you, glad to have you. And Tethys, good to see you, glad to have you. Oh my god. No, Jellybean, I hope she's okay. Hope it's not just a headache. Dee, good to see you, glad to have you. How is everybody doing? Kathra, good to see you, glad to have you. Okay. I'm level 63. What level jobs have I finished? Or 58. Okay, so I should have abilities for because today is trial, so for anyone who wants to join me for Bismarck, we will be getting there sooner rather than later. Question mark. Interesting. However, we will do our warm-up by doing a Dark Knight quest. Destin! Good to see you, glad to have you! Hey, Tethys! Thanks for the $1 for becoming an Archon. Happy birthday to me. Wow. Still got 3 days, I believe. Oh, speaking of, thanks to all of your guys' lovely support, I was able to buy my camera. So we're getting a Sony ZV-1, which will be really good for both streaming and for being able to use else on the road. And I will be picking that up tomorrow. So thank you all for supporting me in that and our ability to be able to buy equipment. I also, for my birthday, pretty much the only thing I asked for from the subject of people getting me presents was money towards PS5 stuff. So me and Niniri should be able to afford the PlayStation 5 for our Final Fantasy 16 playthrough whenever that's ready to go. So hopefully, yeah, we can come up with more fun goals after that. And I had the person who is responsible for my soft goods for my Eorzean cosplay, it just got back to me. So hopefully we'll have that soon. I'm beginning to question your commitment, Elio. You haven't heard the voice since our last communion, which means you haven't taken my lessons to heart. You know I'm trying to help you, don't you? All this is for your benefit. You listen, but you don't understand. Never mind. You're the stubborn type, I know that. We'll just have to keep at it until you open your eyes. Morby Dry Docks, that's where we'll head next. The voice is waiting to be heard, yet you cannot seem to grasp it on your own. Though disappointed, Frey will help you understand its intent. Only communion will suffice. Morby Dry Docks will be where you conduct the rite next. Who's ready for naked cat girls? We do have an hour or two until that. But, for those of you, the degenerate kind. What quest is this? Storm Sergeant Strinlona, at your service. The Whirl Eater's loaded and ready, sir. I'll give the signal from the towing vessel to depart as soon as you're aboard. Leviathan was sighted some distance from the coast, so there should be more than enough time to build up ramming speed. The entire crew is willing to lay down their lives to ensure to reach your target, sir. You've just the concentration on skewering that overgrown sea serpent. So that was the extreme mode for Leviathan that I never apparently turned in. If you want to know the truth, I would rather be rated for naked bun boys. If I was more all for the male form, I would definitely be there with you. Never much cared for the ocean myself. That friend of mine, the one I told you about after our first communion, we came out here together once. Long story short, we ended up doing something ridiculously foolish and were lucky to make it out alive. I tried to talk him out of it, but he's just had to get on that damn boat. I don't be like that, friend. Isn't that the maelstrom supposed to aid the small folk when they're in a spot of trouble? So far as it is possible, yes, but such matters fall within the purview of the Yellow Jackets, and they told me to bugger off. Can you believe that? I'm begging you, Sergeant. Wait, is that you, Private Folgeron? It's almost like we just talked. It is! The legend himself! Forgive me, sir. I never thanked you properly for your service to Limsa Laminsa. When I first heard Leviathan had been summoned, I feared that... Why, if it isn't the famous adventurer who's been killing the Primals left and right. Truly, the 12s must be watching over me, because you're just the man I needed. I'm the victim of a terrible, nay, heinous crime. I was waylaid by Kakern bandits near the Salt Strand, who left me with not more than the clothes on my back. And what makes you think I give a Kakern's arse about your troubles? Go and bother the Yellow Jackets like the sergeant said. I seek worthy prey, not a gang of rats. Melodic, good to see you, glad to have you. How can you say such a thing, sir? Without your help, I'm ruined. Spoken like a true hero. So you know the rank and file didn't seem so dangerous, but their leader was a mean-looking bastard. But considering the foes you faced in the past, he couldn't possibly pose a threat to you. Shut your mouth and wait here. I'll be back. Oh, the face of teaching MT the Final Fantasy XIV lore. Yeah! How goes it? Apparently it's a low-key kind of day. I don't know if people have less time after Labor Day. But I'm noticing some of our regulars maybe are a bit missing in action. I hope everyone's okay. Well, actually, is there an update to the adventure log? Where do these people come from? These helpless, hopeless weaklings who see fit to beg the assistance of every passing adventurer. And now comes another, beseeching the Warrior of Light to recover some stolen chest or crate of God knows what. Wait, Salt Strand, it should be in the south, shouldn't it? Yeah, I was about to, yeah, okay, yeah. I was looking at the quest turn-in instead of... At least I know my geography. And now comes another, beseeching the Warrior of Light to recover some stolen chest or crate, if only the gods know what. The merchant claims the concurrent bandits and their leader will prove worthy prey, but we have been disappointed before. Your lawful video is mind-blowing. I wish many more would watch it and show the lawful hate and the game stops. Yeah! Good. I'm glad you liked it. It was one of the first videos we did. I'm hoping to someday update some of the race videos. I also need to actually finish up the Hero and Eorzean videos. But thanks to some production assistants help, thanks to Ray's help with the production assistants, we've got a lot of fun videos coming up. Definitely got a lot of things. I've got some things that are more juicy, things like stuff on time travel and stuff like that, that the scripting for that is just being finished up now. But yeah, I'm very excited for the months ahead. Decoy, good to see you, glad to have you. Here for Promise Naked Yishala. I knew it was inevitable one of you would. I'm glad you enjoyed it though, Melodic. Whether it's useful, both it being useful or just enjoyable. If the Kakern isn't everything he promised, I'll take it out on his hide. Let's make the most of this, Elio. No style, no guile, just chaos. Chaos. He must kill chaos. Mark your limits, then push yourself beyond. Let the darkness guide and set you free. Blame Ray for that. Ray's the one who got sloppy. Ray tends to act all prim and proper, but I guess apparently get sexy cat lady in front of her and even Ray melts. Weak but plentiful, they may yet suffice. Rogan was amazing too. I never would have guessed they have such an interesting lore. Yeah, well, I'm so excited to be able to go to Eorzean with them too. Like, one day we're gonna get to go to Eorzean, and I think people will appreciate Rogan a lot more. And in case you aren't aware, I think I actually know, I do show it in the video, but just in case, because I know a lot of people don't know, Eorzean is this series of islands up here. And we know very little about what it's like currently. We know what it was like when the Sea Wolves left, but that's about it. There was no lie in the announcement. It's true. Also good to see you, glad to have you, Silver. I mean, Ray did not lie. And was not even necessarily hyperbolic. So do I do here next and then end with Eorzean because of Elio? I think that's what we have to do for the races, isn't it? Just make the here video and it's just literally nothing but just like white toast bread. Heh, tenacious bastards. Right then, the goods. Well, but that's actually a thing, Melodic, and we talked about this elsewhere, is that, good, there's nothing left here for Most of 6.2 and what we know about the Void, other than the recontextualization of the Memoria and like some information around that compared to what we were told as Auracite, a lot of 6.1 and 6.2 were things that we, if you knew the broader, like a lot of the like deeper lore stuff already, was actually things we knew. And so it's actually been really fascinating to go through 6.x and to see the amount of information that actually has to be retold to people who don't know, because it's not all MSQ information. But so far there haven't been a lot of like surprises in the metaphysics. You did well. All that's left is to return the goods to their owner. Finish it. Finish what we started. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. I mean, the thing about 6.2 and the 13th in general is that we've actually touched on it in some of our other videos, but being able to like kind of like have a more not just a very deep but not hyper specific understanding versus the personal understanding of it will be very, very interesting and exciting. 6.2 actually holds a lot of Final Fantasy IV story resemblance. Absolutely it does. Yeah. I have a friend who knows all the final games, so he's like a Wikipedia. Yeah, I've played all of them, and also right now me and Aniri are replaying through all of them, and it definitely, 4 is not only from the standpoint of like the Fiends and Zero and plenty of other things, but there's a lot of elements where it feels like Endwalker as in the 6.0 has a lot of lovely touchstones, like a lot of great ones, but is not as many strong ones. And so the addition of, I think Point X is definitely resolving that and adding yet a lot more into it for that. Oh, wait, what? Wait, how can I take this quest? Ahoy there, lad. You keen to visit on them island sanctuaries, I take it. Oh, to allow you to visit friends. Bugger me, you're unaware of fuss and goal about this old Iolafer. If you're in the east from here, the Isle of Vilburn, that is, you'll reach the Cialdays. The Venturers, much like yourself, been granted the right to cultivate a number of the deserted islands there. Don't get your hopes up, eh? Ain't as if they all gone and got themselves a permit for one of them sanctuaries. Far as I can tell, old project is still in its infancy, and the Admiral's bloody fussy about candidates. Tell you what, since I like you, I'll take you and your mates on your island safe and sound. You need only say the word. Cool. Well, now I can come visit your guys' islands on Elio. It's going to be really interesting to see the way they end up playing. The thing is that like 6.1 and 6.2 have been, it's not that they haven't been surprising, but they've been almost somewhat conventional. So it's going to be really exciting to see how 0.3 and 0.4 change things, and then what 0.5 does and how much it's rooted in what we've seen so far, or what if it's going to be something wildly different to set up for 7.0. Sometimes you just got to make a Hero dude and watch him run around and try his best. Can go look at yours. It's all finished. Yeah, mine's ranked 10 too, and I'm currently saving up for the tractor motorcycle. Ah, it's you. Weren't you able to catch up with those bandits? Yes, this seems to be mine, but Limlane take me. I can't sell this. Everything's soaked through with Kakern blood. What did you do? Carve one open and leave him to bleed all over my wares? I'm ruined, utterly ruined. Sir, I demand recompense for your reckless destruction of my property. I'm a reasonable man, so acknowledge that you are not wholly responsible. 50% of the value should suffice. 50%? 50%?! I slaughtered a gang of Kakern bandits for your precious goods, and this is the thanks I receive. You spineless sack of shit! I'll kill your enemies, I fetch your things, I do what you people can't or won't do yourselves. You're helpless, weak. All you do is want and need. I should have left you all to drown in Leviathan's tidal wave. At least then I would have been spared your constant bloody whining. Do not speak to me of this ever again. Pray forgive my insolence, sir. Private Forceron, sir, you have every right to be upset, but I think he understands, sir. Yeah, if I have one, I mean, it's not even a criticism of Island Sanctuary, but my two things for Island Sanctuary is I want to have more cosmetics for the buildings to be able to like have different dress ups for them. Seeing as it's obviously, it's like not going to be a replacement for housing or anything like that, but at least like more cosmetics for that, which, I mean, they can totally add in time. And then, yeah, I mean, more content, but like, it was a phenomenal first, like, base step for going into the future. You say someone told you to come work for me. Oh, wait. I'm afraid you've been pulling your leg. You know to hire adventurers is true, but we always go through Adventurers Guild. Even I wanted to assign you duties. Yellow Jacket's regulation prohibit me from doing so directly. Now, if you don't mind working in an official capacity, I have a personal request I could make of you. I apparently am just like, when my brain AFKs, I just go for green button, rather than looking at the fucking map. Jubilant, if you're here, can you put a message in to let me know if the mod status took? I think I set you up so you should be a mod now. But I want to make sure that you're blue named. When my brain AFK is super ADHD mood. Yeah. And I can tell you, like, yeah, it looks good. Sweet, thank you. Hey, damn, good to see you, glad to have you. And yeah, I totally, when you're streaming too, because I'm doing game and you guys, and so... like, every so often I have to let my brain kind of AFK so I can talk to you. We can't keep doing this, Elio. You must see now what it's doing to us. What they're doing to us. These people. To be fair, kind of did deserve that one. We don't need them to become a Dark Knight. Not entirely true, Elio. They've helped you out to cultivate the darkness within, in a way, but their help is no longer needed. All that remains is to hearken to the voice, to grasp its words and discover your true calling. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could make you see. But all I can do is guide you on your journey. Huh, interesting. Almost like, well. With every breath you grow fainter. A chorus of voice cries out for a hero, and he comes. He smiles, he nods, and he remains silent. But he too has a voice. I will be heard. Eorzean. You stand at the precipice, but do not fear the fall. Cast yourself into the abyss, and you shall soar above, free at last. There are other lands than these, Elio, lands where we are not known. Ask, and we shall quit this place forever. Only when you have renounced everything are you free to do anything. When we meet again, you will give us your answer. Do you see the crafters can make a water fountain for the island? Oh, they can! I had no idea. No. I bet they will play a nice role in future customizations. That's great. I didn't realize that. Where do you get the recipe for that? Where can you place it? Because I've got Omni crafting, so I should be able to craft it regardless of which one it is. Do you guys want to finish Dark Knight out today, or do you want to go ahead and get started in the MSQ? Decoys, yeah, those are from super collectible materials and expert crafts. Ah, I'll have the fountain one day. Yeah. That should be easy enough to do. Almost forgot. Demands, good to see you, glad to have you. I'm surprised that the, promise of naked Mikote wasn't enough to draw you immediately. Almost forgot about stream today due to both my Colt and one of my dogs getting out. They're both safely back where they're supposed to be. Good, good, good. Dark is the class I'm playing the most right now. Its story is legendary. Yep, we actually just ranked the stories yesterday, and Dark Knight was definitely, I think, my highest. I do actually think Red Mage is a close second for me. I was surprised when I really thought about it how much I think Red Mage is phenomenal. I think Dark Knight, though, is not only phenomenal in and of itself, but from beginning, middle to end, like, every step of it feels like a step in its full story. Like, it feels like a novella in itself. And I think its capstone is the best capstone for that. I cannot get... I love the capstone and how it brings the whole thing full circle. Landmark spot. Landmark spot. Oh, I see what you're saying, where you put the fountain. Okay, well, if no one has an opinion, I'll go ahead and get the MSQ started. I'll save our answer for later, because that's a good fucking quest. Actually, I should switch over to Dragoon. I remember stream due to subconscious desire to observe naked cat girls, probably. Now, yeah, that tracks. That does track. Who needs to chase down horses and dogs when you can be chasing down cats and whales, you know? As far as I know, you need to be ranked 10 to be able to see the fountain requirements. I've been ranked 10 for days. I've been ranked 10 for maybe a week now. I just don't think I noticed. I'm like 1 day away from rank 10. Nice. Should be an option in the landmark build. Yeah, I must have just not checked arena on that. We must press on with our own missions. Tataru, pray return to your duties at the Forgotten Knight. Let us go and speak with Sir Aymeric, Elio. I worry for his well-being. If I'm not mistaken, that'll take me to... Yeah. Okay. Don't forget that we're going to have a trial coming up in a little bit here, so if people want to join in on the trial, well, we'll figure that out in a bit. An audience with the Lord Commander. Yes, of course. Des, good to see you, glad to have you. I still need to go figure out what side quests and other content to do now that I'm done with the base Stormblood plot before I fall purely into Eureka. So, as someone who literally finished the base Stormblood plot and then went directly into Eureka and did nothing but Eureka for a solid week, and I mean, I hardcore played Eureka for a solid week to get the elemental armor. I know how you feel, Silver, and I've been there. What I would recommend is start doing the tribal quests. If you care about it, do Hildebrand. Unlock all do the 4 lords. Definitely do the 4 lords. Do the Evil East Alliance raid. Those are the main things I can think of off the top of my head. Naked second best cat girl. Sorry, it's better. Nice, Tam.
My friends, I am in your debt.
Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust.
Some wounds do not heal.
Ain't that the truth? Nice! Yeah, well, you speed it up, I bet you definitely can, Demins.
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our
God, the
brothers
echo's so
and
good.
sisters, for the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
Look, I know literally the reason that the echo exists is to be an exposition tool, but boy, is it a goddamn good exposition tool.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatosker, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits.
Yeah, I definitely think they ate.
Treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, But Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy, for from his brother Hreisvelger did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
Whilst Thorden's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us.
Well, that's a good point, Jubilant.
I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thorin's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice.
He's not wrong.
This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people.
I mean, solution
You have
shit.
given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country.
He wears the 60 armor, is the armor that the Dragoon's wearing.
To them,
If you're talking about the Warrior of Light.
what would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught? Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire.
The canonic armor for Heavensward is the 60 Dragoon armor with no thung.
If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
I think if there's one thing about the characterization that I wish Heavensward had been better at, it was taking more time to make the Knights 12 and Thoradin have a little bit more. Like, I was thinking recently. Oh, I'll let the cutscene finish.
You saw something, did you not? A vision of the past?
So this is the power of the Echo. Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past. 'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. Faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
You're right, Nothung is the Dark Knight, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm thinking of.
Upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank, self-serving delusion. Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring.
Brionic. Thank you. Brionac.
I've given some thought to that as well.
That's what it is. Yeah, yep.
During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Horsefon was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have
You too,
become
Deathberry?
objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
If Lady
Primals,
Asa can
motherfucker.
use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
Though they'd have to be tempered.
Are the Heavensward truly so reckless?
Because, unlike Iceheart, they don't have the Echo.
Unbelievable.
As they fled, my father spoke of Aziz La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it.
I mean, they're
His
fanatics
ambitions
anyways,
are
so.
too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heavensward and stop my father before it is too late.
This is the flux point. Had Horsefont lived, we would not have felt as pressing a need to go after them, and things would not have ended up for the better. Oop. Master Forgeron, Master Alphino, I, Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, do hereby entreat the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Our aid in preventing whatever it is that the Archbishop intends. Your aid in bringing him to justice. Too much blood has been spilled for the lies he perpetuated. No more. I shall pursue them to the end of the world if I must. I thank you, Elio. I have heard many men make such pledges, but you speak in earnest. Much has changed since our order's founding, but our duty to combat the primal threat has not. If the Archbishop and the Heavensward are guilty of the crime of summoning, then Elio and I will stop them. Would that I could join you in the pursuit, but alas, my father's absence has thrown a government into chaos. Ever since the founding of our nation, there has been an Archbishop to serve as a guiding light for the masses, a force for stability to counterbalance the high houses. Houses ceaseless maneuvering. Convincing the people to recognize the truth of our origins would have been difficult even without my father's support. The road ahead is that much more fraught with peril without it. Yet walk if we must, for unity is more vital to our survival than ever. After all, Nidhogg's death did not mark the cessation of the Dravanian hostilities. Far from it. We will have great need of each other in the days to come. You may ever count on my lance, Sir Aymeric. To my dying breath I shall defend Ishgard from the Horde. If I may, Lord Commander, I would like to assist the Scions in their search for the Archbishop. Elio, Master Alphino, pray attend me outside. Very well. With me, Elio. I believe we have much to discuss. I went with the head option. I'm a very angry cat. Yeah, I'm a little bit more big picture, a little less just vengeance. But yeah. The church being evil in an MMO? No, they would never be such a horrid thing. Especially not the one that's definitely coded as Christian. Or maybe specifically Catholic. We love our stoic nods. The new ultimate explain plot holes in this expansion. I don't know what you mean by plot holes. I wouldn't say it explains plot holes. It's an alternative, but I wouldn't say that there's any plot holes that Dragonsong War explains. Let me catch up on you guys. If you enjoy the stream, thank you, Tethys. Hildebrand required for Endwalker Relics. Yes. Sloppy. 11 watching, but only 4 likes on the stream. Yes. Yes. Like and comment, subscribe on this, even on streams. It goes a long way to help us. Now I'm reminded there really just aren't a whole lot of beards in the game. It's a regular character creation. Yep. Part of that is also you got to remember, think about clipping, right? So like if you had a long beard as part of your armor, that like, but you don't wear a helmet, it could clip into your armor, and that would be a problem. I do agree that they're weirdly different, but honestly I enjoy them so much when I get around to them. Can't stop laughing. Some great comedic writing, but maybe not for everyone. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about Hildebrand too, Jubilant. Arid Bar. Hey, the church near Drybone seems chill. Yeah, so the 12 worship though is coded very differently, and it's not so much the church being evil as in religion or worship being evil, but like or like small groups. Like for instance, if you think about like how much like Gridania is rooted in Shinto and Druidism and stuff, like it's more the idea of institutionalized great powers, and specifically when you think of like the Catholic Church as an institution rather than as a religion, which I know seems like you can't really decouple those, but I wonder if they really keep their word, because they mentioned in a live letter female Hrothgar will be the last race stuff and there won't be any playable races. Yeah, I would, there's the amount of effort and work and heartache that came about from them doing other races was such that there's just no way that they, yeah, there's no, I don't want them to do, even if there are other races that I want, because it's too big of a problem, but we will get female Hroth. The Soliel was eastward bound, so I sent word to Camp Cloudtop on the off chance the airship passed nearby. Sure enough, Lady Lene informed me that I had been sighted by her scouts. The Archbishop is somewhere in the Sea of Clouds. Or was not long ago. The airship has not been seen since it disappeared in the northern reaches near the Blue Window. Alas, because the region is firmly held by the Vanu and not easily accessible from Camp Cloudtop, House Halionard has yet to establish a foothold. We will need not only an airship, but a captain bold enough to risk the beastman's wrath. I think we both know the perfect candidate, Elio. Let's pay a visit to Master Garland at the Sky Steel Manufactory. Oh, sorry, that was Delphino. I see. Then I will take my leave for now. There are other matters which require my attention. I think implementing the additional haircuts for Yara and Hrothgar is more of a struggle than we know. Well, it's not more than we know. Like, if you understand how the bone systems... I love you guys. I mean, you know, okay. On a technical level, most people are not aware of how much difficult it is with both, like, the bone system and other issues besides. But it is more difficult than most people know. Yes. The plot of 7.0 will be Warrior of Light and friends fighting an onslaught of furries. Dez, I think there's too many people who'd be down for that. Yeah, the only way we'd add anything else is if they were essentially the same skeleton, nearly the same model as another, so more likely sub-races. I think we could definitely see more clans. I think what they should do is just make more clans. Like, that's the easy solution. It really is. More options, more... Are you fucking Chaos from Sonic? What is even going on? Oh, no, Warframe. Right, you were mentioning that earlier. I'm still just excited for additional line change to be... The grass! The grass! Oh! I'm so excited for grass! I'm very excited for the grass. Eastern Row. Yep, Eastern Row. Definitely excited for Eastern Row. You know, there's all sorts of spin-offs that'd be clans that'd be worth introducing. Thavnarian Aura. Which you kind of can already make, but like more derivations. Ah, the dastardly duo. What mischief have you two been getting up to lately? You haven't heard, have you? I hardly know where to start. I don't know that I'm capable of being mellow. He was a good man. Sid, have you heard of Azisla? The Archbishop, spoke of it before he fled. No, but it is probably some source of phenomenal cosmic power that's the key to his plans. From what he told Elio, the Ascians tried to tempt him as they tempted Gaius with the ultimate weapon. Even if he spoke true about playing along, I can see him attempting to seize it. As if we need another reason to pursue him. Well, I'm convinced. The Enterprise is at your disposal. Come to the airship landing when you're ready to depart. I am, like, but, like, look, like, one of the, there are a couple things in this game. The aliasing issue just as well. After pulling you out of the fire these last few times, I reckoned it was due to deliver you into it. But, like, the level to which, like, Thavnair is weakened by the grass, or other locations are weakened by, like, foliage, and it looking like PlayStation 2/3 era foliage, is such that I'm so excited because it's going to make the world feel more vibrant and, like, modern. And it's not going to be, like, huge. It's not going to be like, oh, we're getting PS5 Unreal Engine 5 grass, but it is a huge leap forward. And it matters. I'm an old lady, and that yell scared me out of the half out of that I have left. I'm sorry, Cathra. Here, let me turn down my voice a little bit. You guys gotta let me know if my volume is a bit loud, because I have to adjust sometimes my gain for different things. So tell me if this is good. To be honest, it's probably just my opinion, but male Elozen and male Rogans need rework so they become more interesting to many people if I insult. No, it's not an insult. I don't agree, but I do. But I don't think. Here's the thing, Melodic. I think the thing is that a lot of people don't look like male Rogan because they don't like the butch archetype. And they're highly muscular, and that's not a fantasy that a lot of people want, but it is a fantasy that many people want. And same with Elozen. I love Elozen. I mean, I play Elozen. I love their features. I don't think Elozen need a rework. I just think they're not for everyone. And I think no matter what you do, you have a situation in which you're not going to appeal to everyone, nor should you. Like, there's enough races that it's okay to have races that are not everyone's bread and butter, you know? So no, I don't think it's an insult. I don't agree, but Melro? Nah. Femro. Yes, please. Our faces and horns should be two different things. Hey, Blinks, good to see you. Glad to have you. I mean, depends on what you mean. Oh, and that how they're connected. Yeah, the problem with that is that you have issues with, like, facial geometry and the horns, and the problem there is how the system fundamentally works beneath. But, yeah, I hear you. Your volume was fine, but just the sudden loud grass was loud. Okay. I'll try to not scream into my mic then. Into the fire, is it? In that case, I should inform Tataru of our plans. Pray, go on ahead into the airship landing. I shall join you anon. The one thing I have to criticize about males is the long neck. Well, yeah, but that's not a problem. That's you not liking long necks, right? Like, you'd agree with that, right? Because that's a design archetype that I like. The long neck of the Elozen, for me, is something I actually do like about them. I think it's a naturalistic feature about making them more tall, more lanky. And I get not liking it, but I don't think that means that it needs to be changed. I think that's more like, oh, I wouldn't want to play Elozen because it doesn't, appeal to me, right? The final days were upon us. The final days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray, its lands rent by ubus and fursuits. I should have read the whole thing. The actual one, its lands rent by tooth and claw. Which actually still applies. Male row, purrs. Talvis just wants to be held in those strong arms. At the landing, right, yeah. So, something aesthetically not beautiful to me, now I get what you're saying. Yeah! And for Rogan, I have they have red eyeballs. Not all Rogan, and no, they have white sclera. I'm not sure I fully know what you mean, so it's like a small thing I criticize. Yeah, and I guess there's always, so like, how do I put this? Yeah, I think, like, being very careful about reminding ourselves that aestheticism's speaking to us versus aestheticism's being fundamentally bad. So, like, let's say the Elozen neck was so long that it was clipping through armor, right? Then that's something I think fundamentally needs to be fixed, right? But, like, just having a different aesthetic appeal. For instance, I don't, like, Mikote do nothing for me, right? But I wouldn't ever say, like, oh, Mikote need to change. Or Lalfell don't particularly do anything to me, but I wouldn't say Lalfell need changing. White sclera, nah, black sclera, Drake pointing. The boys have been hard at work preparing for our flight, and I'm pleased to say we are ready to depart. Look at the boys. That is, as soon as a certain... I love that he's one of the voice actor for him is also one of the Heavensward. It's fucking hysterical. Pray, forgive my lateness. Tataru and I had much to discuss. We still have no news of the missing Scions, but she assures me that Eorzean and Riel are pursuing the promising leads. Come, we can continue the discussion aboard the Enterprise. Yeah, it is wild. It's also like a limitation of clipping, because otherwise you'd have to make each hairstyle bespoke for each horn style, right? And again, that's not to say that like don't voice that you want it. If you voice that you want it, just like the key to me, right, is voicing if you want something, totally do it. Voice it on the forums. They listen to the feedback. Like, do that. But it's different than saying like, oh, it's that way because they're just stupid or lazy or like, you know. And I'm not saying anyone's saying that. I just think it's like always worth remembering that like wanting it is fine, but accusing the developers of not having it yet because of like some, laziness or something is not only just wrong but also weird. The others are waiting for you aboard the Enterprise, Elio. Shall we get going? Gestures to the Discord. Yeah. I'm dying uwus and fursuits. Okay, is the voice actor for Emmett Selk on
to the northern reaches of the Sea of Clouds.
Cameo? If so, new funding goal.
Uncharted.
Actually, we should see which voice actors from 14 are on TikTok.
In search
Make
of a
those some funding
mysterious
goals.
land known as Azizlar, and the unmasked villain who sought to claim its secrets.
I know that Xenos goes ham on Cameo. That's the only one I know.
Oblivious to the new threat which followed in their wake, they came.
Des, you're so right about the horns. I love that he's doing that now of us coming to the Sea of Clouds for the second time. I guess it makes sense, right? Because like when they open up the second halves, they are meaningful extensions of the narrative. I think this is part of Heavensward is really interestingly, when you think about the ways in which you have to go back to Eorzea, or also the way that Garleans come in towards the end, like it's very interesting. They do have pre-set up, right? Like they did set up that they were building a new Agrius and stuff, so when it shows up, it's not random or out of nowhere. Oh, but what I was going to say earlier about a point about, you know what I genuinely think, and obviously we all have different opinions. Some people like Stormblood might be your favorite, Heavensward might be your favorite, but I think the broad consensus tends to be that Shadowbringers and Endwalker are like a step up, broadly. And whether you agree or disagree, hear me out on my point first. Because this is not about which one's the best, as I've proclaimed time and time again. Because I think that's a pointless argument. But I do think one thing that Heavensward and Stormblood starts to do even better, but I think that Endwalker and Shadowbringers do really well, is they let their villains be just as important as your main characters. If not more. And so because of that, I think you end up in a situation where in Heavensward, like, Thoradin is not super charismatic or super, like, hyper a part of things or interacting with you or very much, or, like, and so he's not super strong as a villain. Nidhogg becomes so in 3.x a little bit more, but only because of through the lens of Estinian, not because of Nidhogg proper, right? Stormblood, you have Xenos more of as a proper villain who's an antagonist, but you still don't get to interact with him a ton. And so you get like a couple key scenes, but like you don't get and also because you have split between Garabani and Doma, you end up having like Deutero antagonists with, Yotsuyu, but Yotsuyu don't get to expand on as much until the point X. But then you have Emmett Silk for Shadowbringers, and you have certain characters that are not going to be mained, censor my voice here, for Endwalker. And I think, yeah. And pretty sure Thancred's VA is on there too. Oh, interesting. Amber, good to see you, glad to have you. From here, Camp Cloudtop looks rather far. Be on your guard, Elio. The Vanu could be anywhere, even watching us as we speak. If you would like to preemptively set up for joining me for the trial, go to the tea tree in Limsa. We're on Crystal Curl. Assuming the Soleil is here, I doubt she will come to us. We should begin searching the Isles in earnest. Of course, we must remain vigilant for the Vanu scouts as well. I would rather avoid needless bloodshed. High indeed. I agree that even if Stormblood isn't as strong as the expansion overall as Heavenward, the direct antagonists are written better than Heavensward. Yeah, and for me, to recount this for the umpteenth-thousandth time, I don't think comparing expansions is particularly useful because of how much they build on each other, and broadly just talking about why they speak to you more, one speaks to you more, is more of a useful conversation. I should make a video on that. I will say that, like, for me, I'd see, like, Heavensward and Stormblood as pretty much co-equal. Especially if you're... Because, like, to me, the bridges are separate from the expansions, and the fact that Heavensward relies so much on its bridge to kind of finish its story is also, to me, in some ways, a weakness. Look out, right? Not that the bridge isn't fucking phenomenal. But, yeah. Gods, look at them. So many isles, so many places to hide. No, we must not lose hope. He is out there, Elio, and we will find him. I just want to take a second. It's so easy because we have flying all the time to, like, not think about, like, just the scale and scope of these maps. But just, like, look how far away everything is. Look how big the Sea of Clouds is. And the maps only get bigger or more grand. Like, just take a second to just... It gets too easy for the world to feel small once you get flying sometimes. Not that I want flying to go away, far be it, you know, like, keep fucking... Convenience is much more important there. I've also enjoyed Stormblood more so far, to be honest. Interesting, Silver. Fascinating. I'm super excited to replay it. I'm super excited to replay it partly because I'm interested to see if I like it less now, or if I like it more, or the same. Heavensward is about where I expected it to be. In Heavensward, you are shown the cost of an unending war. In Stormblood, you are dropped in the result of a lost war. Both are necessary viewpoints for what comes later. Yeah, totally agree. Both are, that's a great point at this. That's build upon in what's to come. Yeah. Thanks for giving me ways of different perspective, but I kind of feel extremely tired, so I'm out. Night, Melodic, thanks for joining in. Mayhap this effort was doomed to failure. Begs mercy of the Netherlands, does not fight, does not wish to die. Ooh, what's a new voice? It's Birdie. Was that a Vanu being attacked, but by whom? Over there! Imperial troops! Ishgardians, seize them! They'll know where the Archbishop is! The enemy of my enemy? We've no choice. With me, Elio! Protect the Vanu! My biggest problem with some of the maps is that there are only Aetherites in, like, one corners on one side. Yeah, some of the maps are definitely... The Aetherites are fucky. Definitely my official terminology for it. Remember, Lord Van Hydrus wants them alive. That's an order. And you know what the other thing about, like, for instance... I just had a realization. Like, Van Hydrus probably just seems like he fucking disappears from the plot if you don't do the Warring Triad. I mean, like, obviously, like... He just kind of disappears after,
Thaliak, protect me!
Oh, hey, he said Thaliak. I mean, okay, other people say Thaliak at different points. But, yeah, he really does. I have a soft spot for Stormblood because of all its anti-imperialism narratives. Yeah, I really love it for that. It has some of my favorite moments in the entire game. Like the moment at the moment at the Nahama with Gosetsu, talking about what it means to serve and all of that is just so phenomenal. Well, Alpino pulls out his book and threatens them with paper cuts. I'm pretty sure he's threatened them with magic. What are you doing? You're a disgrace to the Sixth. There's no end to them. I do love the idea of him just throwing the book at them, though. Okay, here's a better take. He pulls out a book, right? And goes into battle and just shouts, I will defeat you by the power of a big-ass nerd! Well, that's his melee. Casters don't have melee, right? Well, oh, paper cut melee? Yeah. It just looks so funny when they pull out books and cards and such. Dude, in a world of magic! I mean, I don't gonna fuck with anyone who's killing my ass with cards, you know? I ain't gonna laugh at them. You know? be honest, book stance is why I switched to Sage. Interesting. I mean, Sage is my fucking favorite healer, so. But honestly, my favorite caster is Summoner. Currently, anyways. Just throw the book at them. Sage melee is a hand heal punch. Sort of joke, but the way you stand with the book is so dumb. I really like it. Like, I don't know. Especially because if you think about the tomes, right, they're not like reading off of them. There's symbols, and those symbols they're drawing from the Aether from and through, you know, shooting. I don't think they're trying to be threatening, though. They don't have to be threatening. They're kicking ass. Oh, Dee Dee, thank you for the $30. Happy birthday a few days early, but something for you, Elio. Thank you, Dee Dee. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna see my parents for the first time in a while. Well, I'll see at least my mom. I don't know if I'll be able to sync up with my dad, as well for my birthday. So. Okay, do I go deep? Do I go high? Netherling. No, I do high for a lot. Ooh. Squat. Oh. Netherlings save Lonu Vanu from sudden death, showers Netherlings with thanks like summer squall. Lonu Vanu knows not what wind bears Netherlings to cloud sea, but warmly welcomes them, shows gratitude where gratitude is due. Lonu Vanu owes much and more to Netherlings. As saviors, as heroes, Zundu welcomes you. To village we go, to north, come. Alfino throws his book and pulls out an extra copy of whatever book he just threw. Nah, man, you just use magic yo-yo, right? You just, like, throw it, boop, bring it right back. You just do what the dancer does with chakrams. Okay, dancer weapon that's chakrams, but it's just books. Perfect joke weapon. So the Garleans were searching for the Archbishop, and I believe that the Vanu knew something of his whereabouts. Methods notwithstanding, they may have had the right of it. I conclude that we should accept Lonu Vanu's offer of hospitality and visit his village. I fucking love his tribal, their tribal aetheryte. I unlocked Sage, but still need to learn how to play it. Silver, I highly recommend you do. Sage is fucking so much fun, and it's not hard. It really isn't. If you, I or someone else, I'm sure in the Discord can help you learn the basics of it. I think that the Sage makes a ton of sense. Like it just feels natural. At least it does to me. Sage is great, and the added shield to Holos makes them so OP now. Yeah, they fucking needed more. I saw that change, and I'm like, really? The Vanu would make excellent lounging buddies. Yeah, just chill out. Borderlands book. How to dance books. It looks fun. It's just that whenever I get a class that doesn't start at 1, I just have to take the time to recognize my hotbars and read my tooltips to read your tooltips to sort of get an idea of what to do. Yeah. What I'll say is the jobs that start at higher levels are still pretty easy to pick up, even at their higher level. But the thing that's also beneficial about healers is that you don't have a traditional rotation. So there's a lot more opportunity. Well, I guess for some people that might be more of a stressor than a help. The ultimate book wielder, Winfred from Hocus Pocus. Like breeze guides leaves to winds, come and lay down your burdens, Netherlings. Lone Vanu throws wide arms in greeting. Behold, Ok Zundu. Far warmer welcome than the one you received from the Vundu, I think. Ha! Vundu bluster and blow hither and yon, sound and fury like an aimless gale. Eh? What unseen lightning begets such thunderous reports? There you are! Did you see it? It's that damned flying whale again. The Imperials are after it. Where? The White. Sin! He's wounded. By the 12, did that beast just eat that island? O insatiable wight, O devourer of worlds, why must you torment us? Bah, Lonu Vanu waste no more words on his unfortunate deeds. Come, Netherlings, come break words cut with Chief of Zundu. Gundu is for the tribes, right? Because there's Zundu, Vundu, and Gundu, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, Superbolide's all you need, especially with tank priv. You just have healers adjust to that. That's totally how it works, Blinkster. Also, for the jobs that start higher, you can use the alternate job action view to see your combos. Yeah, I forgot that that's a thing now. The enemy can't hurt you if you kill yourself first. It's true. You cannot kill that which is already dead. Hey, Demins is caught up. With wisdom deep as nethers and eyes clear as clouds as blue, Sonu Vanu speaks for Zundu. Hearken to his words. You could say wicked white there, couldn't you? One could. Netherlings deliver Lonu Vanu from claws of steel-shod fiends and prove nobility. He knows not to ignore Zephyr's words and bring before you with all haste. Soft rains to soothe the heart and sunshine to warm. Gratitude of Sonu, Chief of Zundu, is boundless. We are honored to meet you, Chief Sonu. I am Alfino Levier, and these are my companions, Elifor Chiron and Sid Garland. We are come in search of an archbishop, a flying vessel of the Nethers, which we believe is somewhere in the Cloud Sea. Did they explain why Estinian didn't join us? Ah, like black steel showed contraption from which you save Lonu Vanu. Alas, no, the ship belongs to the Garlean Empire, an old enemy of ours, though not the enemy we are looking for at present. Willow, good to see you, good to have you. Did you change your picture to your fucking bun boy? The men we seek wear armor of purest white and are led by someone. Wait, Lonu Vanu here tells tales of these Netherlings. You do? Are you certain? As sun rises and falls and returns we are, Zundu scouts can testify to words of Lonu Vanu. Aye, winds carry purpose of Netherlings to our ears as well. Netherlings seek key to Azisla. Now we're getting somewhere. Tell us, Chief Sonu, what exactly is this Azisla? Beware, Netherlings, for blackest clouds portend greatest dangers. Look not into heart of tempest. There lies ancient birthplace of sin, home of forbidden secrets. To speak more is to call the wind. But the white devours isles where a key is kept. Deep within bowels of mighty Bismarck it lies, beyond reach of the foolhardy. And beyond ours. Rejoice not in his gluttony, Lonu Vanu, for as stone gives way to water and wind, all yields to the white. Then he knows Chief Sonu, madness of Vundu bodes ill for all Vanu. Then try against regular enemies, then try dungeon. Yeah, don't forget there's also, you can always use it against fighting dummies. As a way to just test out all your different attacks. Oh, what I did for Samurai Red Mage was just a mix of starting the level 1 run in POTD and get the very basic skill setups on hotbars, reading the tooltips, recognize while testing combos against dummies. Oh yeah, so you literally, yeah. I just missed the first part of that. So Azisla is home to forbidden secrets, accessible only to the bearer of the key, which the Archbishop covets. Much as I would like to believe it's safe within the belly of Bismarck, the Knights of the Heavensward wield primarily primal powers. If we do not slay the whale and claim the key first, they surely will. Quite how we will go about it is another matter. As was the case in our battle with Leviathan, we are out of our element, and this time we have far fewer allies to call upon. Be that as it may, our customary approach still holds true. We must begin by learning more about the White. Let us each question the residents of the village, then regroup and share our findings anon. Sorry I'm late, I took a nap. No! I'm always glad to have you guys, even if whenever you gotta come in. Life is life. If Netherlings seek knowledge of White, then speak with Kunu Val, foremost keeper of tales. But neglect not to present self with humility and respect. As sun yields to moon and moon to sun, Netherlings must greet Kunu Val with a bow. But yeah, so remember that Aetherites can be forged, but they can also just form naturally, which is how you end up with things like this. So that's why some tribal groups have their own aetherites. At the big tree outside of the Maelstrom... explaining where the tea tree is. Yeah, we hang out at the tea tree. It's where we usually meet up for stuff. What ill-mannered beast comes before Kunuval and begs his hat to hear tales, none of who deserves aught of what she knows. I apologize, I forgot to bow. Zephyr winds at your back and sunshine to warm your brow, traveler from below. Kunuval, keepers of tales, hears your words and she remembers. In times long ago, in lands elsewhere, before even the clouds see, the white is one among many. Newborn, he swims besides his many brothers, and sea is of endless war. But hated the white is, for his brothers are purest black. So great is their contempt, their loathing, that they turn upon him and rend his flesh asunder. And so he falls, only to rise again. For merciful gods raise him to the heavens, and there he is reborn. The white still longing for the seas to which he cannot return. But in rebirth, a splinter of the divine is shared, and so he opens his maw from whence he came. The clouds and a new sea is born, home to him alone. Content his gaze below, and see others who are as he, hatred and hunted. He weeps, and in his benevolence he raises up his isles of earth, and guides these people to the clouds of sea, which is the tale of his rebirth, and the salvation of the Vanu. May it never be forgot. Which, if you know Shadowbringers, makes interesting questions about, was Bismarck rooted in a being that actually did exist within the oceans of the world? But this demon which menaces the clouds, his rage is that of Vundu, his hunger that of wild beast. The high elves are his gift to us, yet now he must consume them. Now he must consume them? Kunuval knows no tales like this. I went to play as a Vanu. Hey, Lore, good to see, glad to have you. Jolly, good to see that have you. I didn't bother with anything like a schedule. I was just checking my YouTube subs page and saw you were live. Maybe I'll manage to get Scream out of my head when it's been living all. I'll manage to get Scream out of my head where it's been living all week. Like the movie? But yeah, if you want to see our schedule, we streams Monday and Tuesday are MSQ replay. Wednesday is new videos. Thursday is me and Aniri streaming Final Fantasy replay. Fridays will maybe end up also being Final Fantasy replay, where we go through Final Fantasy 1 through 16. But also Lore Book Club. Saturday is community events. However, I will be off this Friday and Saturday as I will be out of town for my birthday. I may be around for Lore Book Club. We'll see. So according to the Vanu, the seeing clouds and the floating isles were gifts from Bismarck to his people. Gifts which he has taken to eating, yes. Technically within his right, I suppose, if it perhaps a little ungrious. Gods, eh? But what of you, Alfino? Did you learn aught of value? Alas, no. That is, unless you have an interest in the intricacies of Vanu sky fishing. Oh, but he does. Sky fishing? My gods, that's it, Alfino, my boy. I could kiss you. From what we have observed, Bismarck is a creature of pure instinct, driven primarily by hunger. When wounded by Imperials, it fled, but not before devouring another island to restore its strength. What I propose is this. We tow a suitably appetizing island through the Sea of Clouds, in essence, fishing for our flying whale. Once we draw Bismarck out of hiding, we shall use the dragon killers to fire grapnels into the beast's hide, and then reel it in close, enabling our resident Icon Slayer to engage it directly. A bold plan, Master Garland, but an exceedingly dangerous one. Shouldn't Elio fail to subdue the creature, he would almost certainly be eaten, along with the rest of your appetizing island. What else is new? Oh, he won't fail, and if anything does go wrong, I'll be at the helm of the Enterprise, ready to tow him out of trouble. I wouldn't entrust the task like this to anyone else. No, I trust you have no objections to me joining you as well. None at all. The more the merrier. Right then, it seems the boy and I have a lot of work to do. If the Enterprise is to be ready for a fishing trip, well, you two need to find me some bait. Not just any island, mind. I want a mouthful at most. So my theory to that, right, is think about it. We know that the tale of Bismarck was rooted in a being that once was within the ocean. Maybe tales of Bismarck, you know, think about the first, right, in Bismarck there. Maybe that's an extension of where the legacy of that name comes from. Actually, you know what? Let's see if EE1 has anything to say about it. With delicacies from every corner of the 5 seas sure to satisfy any palate, the Bismarck is famed as Eorzean's premier restaurant. Just as the white whale of legend devour all that lay in his path, it is the Bismarck's fondest hope that its diners will follow suit. So yes, it is rooted in the same myth, but the myth of the one of the ocean that also became the myth of the one in the Sea of Clouds. There you go. Scream is the song from Panda 5. Ah! I haven't looked too much into it, because I know once I start listening to it on repeat, I'm going to do a lyrical lore on it. And I haven't had the time to do that. However, because I'll be traveling this weekend, I may be able to do a lot of writing while I'm in the car, so that'll be exciting. I haven't had a chance to sit down and write much lately. Well, you heard, Sid. We need an island to bait the hook. By way of a first step, I propose we seek Chief Sonu. If the Zundu are concerned by Bismarck's behavior, as they have given us to believe, they may well be supportive of our efforts to slay him. Yeah, Scream from the raid. You can finish the Vanu BT quest and glam everything as a Vanu pieces. Yes, play a male Rogadin, and you'll be the large, and then you just put on all the Vanu pieces. If you enjoy the stream and aren't already a member of Discord, why not come join us? Thank you, Tethys. I normally just use the Discord notifications because they pop up more reliably on mobile. Yeah. Don't forget, by the way, if you are on the Discord and you need to set yourself to receive notifications, because we don't use at everyone or at all or at here or any of that, because it understandably is annoying to get constant notifications. Tantamount to the Tramontane is upon us. The white feasts, the Vundu rejoice in its carnage. Hear me, Chief Sonu. The creature which torments you is now not the deity who raised the floating islands and made a gift of them to you. He is a perversion of your beliefs given form by the Vundu, a false savior who consumes that which he should rightly safeguard. Yet it does not need be this way, Chief Sonu. We have the power to strike down this impostor. We must beg you of an island to see it done. Motes against the Tempest, in vain do they struggle. Yet who is Sonu to speak of what may be? Perhaps even the Tranbataine can turn to the Ponet. Very well, Netherlings. When you are ready, tell Zundu scouts what manner of island you require, and they guide you to it. We shall not fail, Chief Sonu. On that you have my word. Come, Elio, let us see how Sid's preparations are progressing. I mean, they probably serve fish, right? Neither of them are equipped with the proper cannons. Cue X-File music. The truth is out there. Somewhere. Ba-na-na-na. That'd actually be a funny thing to press. Why is the music not referenced in the Hildy stuff now? Why is that music not referenced in the Hildy stuff now? I have no idea what you're asking. Damn. Oh, like, why is it not used in that? I mean, do you want the boring answer? Also, how big is X-Files even in Japan? Are the writers particularly aware of it? Like, I know it was like a huge, international phenomenon to an extent when it was out, but it was rhetorical. Well, I can't tell. I don't know if you know this, but text in the internet is not great at reading as either rhetorical, sarcastic, or, I also have a propensity to take things at face value, egregiously so. Okay, we got a long way to walk. I'm gonna see if I can get a drink. Okay. I have to go up 2 flights of stairs to get one of these, so. Oh, it's actually over there. How can anyone be sarcastic on the internet? It's such a nice and safe place. Well, YouTube chat should include this sarcastic mark, and there's a rhetorical question mark. There's a rhetorical question mark? But also, I agree. There should be, more codified or agreed upon ways to emphasize sarcasm. There might be. See, that's just a question mark to me. Like I don't read, if I see a question mark, I don't necessarily read that as rhetorical. Aurora, good to see you, glad to have you. Hope everyone is well. Gonna lurk while I take care of some dailies and eat some s'mores cookies. Oh, you and your s'mores cookies. Now I'm hungry. Okay, D did give $30. No, I gotta save birthday money for the PS5. Where's a sugar archon when you need him? Our Scardian friends have furnished us with dragon killers and ammunition, and I've taken the liberty of procuring a Magitech field generator as well. Rest assured, we have chains to spare, every link forged by the manufacturer's master craftsman. If you've any lingering doubts as to their strength, know that they were originally intended to bind dragons, and were not found wanting. If you please to inform you that the Vanu had agreed to furnish us with the islands of our choosing, then all that remains is to confirm the readiness of the poor buggers who will actually be doing the fighting. Elio, let Wedge know when your party is assembled. Aye, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but I don't like this plan. I don't like it one little bit, but I can't help but be excited all the same. So tell me, Elio, are you ready to hunt the white whale? After you then, Elio. All aboard. Okay, guys. I'm coming to Limsa to meet up with you guys. So if anyone wants to join for the trial, and I would love it if I could have 8 people, or 8 in total, because it's a lot more fun that way. Go to the tea tree. Resist the sushi. Fuck, now I want sushi. And we have an unlimited sushi place nearby me for like 20 bucks. Fuck. Maybe I have to go out for sushi tonight. I love you guys. Also, thank you guys for waiting on me so much. I don't know if this guy is just a rando dancing with you or he's one of us, so you'll have to let me know. Did I not give Des an invitation? Nope, Des already got an invitation. Okay, we're gonna wait here for a second. We're on Crystal Curl, and we're meeting at the tea tree. If you want to join in, if you're not already in the party and want to join in, make sure to wave, because otherwise I won't know. Oh, sorry, Deathberry. Okay, and send friend request, so... I can join if needed. Also, hi. Chris, good to see you, glad to have you. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're only 2 away from a full party, Chris, so if you want to come, I would love it. That would give me... Hi, Hungry, I'm Blinkster. Ah, I see you too are a connoisseur of the dad humor. I thought it was merely I. Oh, it's Avenarian Onion. Des, will you be joining us? Is this person also wanting to join? Is this one of you guys? That random is you? Okay. Jubilant's already in. We may need one more healer and one more tank. So if anyone has anything to swap to. Dust seems to be AFK. Yeah. That's fine. If Chris comes, we'll have 8. It's me, your boy, Blinkster, back with it with the dad jokes. Now we have 3 tanks. Oh, actually, there is sort of, but it's not in common use. A reverse question mark apparently was intended to be used for that, but people generally don't. Oh, hey, maybe we could bring that into are any of you, is this one of you guys? I can come. I was ordering DoorDash. Well, I think we may be maxed out now. On the one hand, I apologize. On the other hand, I'll be honest, it's kind of a nice feeling to actually be able to have easy access to full party. Is Sylvia with us? Is that one of our peeps? Brings back the reverse question mark and the thorn. Oh, yeah. Okay, because I'm still asleep. Yeah, Willow, take it easy. Especially take your rest. Okay, here's Chris. I constantly get Chris, like, we have 2 Chris's in the community, so I get thrown off. Okay, we need one more tank. Okay, cool. I almost did trial roulette. Let's kick some whale ass. I forget, is Bismarck 6? Is Bismarck 5 or 6? It's 6, right? Though I definitely feel like they took some design elements from Sin. Woke to no energy drinks, I'm kind of bummed. Willow, I don't know if you know this, but there are things called stores. You could go refill on them. Bismarck, yeah, he's from a prior Final Fantasy. Forget which one though. Thank you, Ray Rays, for the reminders. Bismarck FF6. One quick second. Yep, FF6, I was right. He may even be from an earlier one too as well, but as far as I know, he's at least as early as, Okay. And let's ready up. And let's do it. Get ready, everyone. Here it comes. That's what she said? Oh, it seems like my chat's freaking out, so I'm gonna have to reset my chat real quick. There we go. 6, I think. Yep. What the fuck is a store? Look, just because you live out in the boonies doesn't mean everyone else has to, Demins. I forget who we was talking about. We were talking about like living on the East Coast and like living in Midwest and stuff. I think was it Jubilant? Was it Dest? I forget who talking to us about that. But that was a really interesting and fun conversation. I guess I'll do the other. Not gonna lie, backflipping like that was pretty fucking dope. Stores are too people-y. Yeah, I hear you. There's this thing called DoorDash. Well, actually, didn't you say you were door dashing? I guess that's what started the whole conversation. Chitin Carapace. Can't say anything, I live out in the boonies too. Yeah. Keep them apart, make sure they're spread apart. Sometimes I wish you could enjoy this fight more. Like I feel so torn because I don't like gimmicky fights that much. And especially like, and it's one of, you know, you only get 3 trials per, you know, 0.0, you know? And it makes me sad that it's just like, it's cool, it's super cool, but it's also like not one of my favorites. Like hell, Trial 1 from Endwalker is almost too gimmicky itself. Although I like that fight, it's a good fight. I've been farming that one a lot lately for the links. Suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick. You can't eat us, we are on a shielded island. Damn it, we've lost the generator. Okay, never mind, we're no longer shielded. Quick, everyone, kill it or we're about to get bored. Demand, stop getting excited. Extreme win. I have that problem sometimes. That's not. Why was Bismarck summoned to begin with? The Vanu. The Vundu specifically summoned him. Probably from the stoking of the Ascians. The Ascians taught him how to summon him. Actually, they tell us that. And the thing is that the Sea of Clouds is rich in a lot of aether and crystals anyway, so summoning him wouldn't have been that hard. Once they were taught how. And, like, remember, the Vundu want to control all of the Sea of Clouds, and there's the Zundu and the Gundu as well, right? And so they destroyed the Gundu. I think it's Gundu, pretty sure. Plus the encroachment of, you know, you have the Ishgardians stationed out there, plus their airships. And airships are becoming more and more commonplace, so they might feel threatened by that. Booyah! I mean, we could have limit braked, but we got it. Well, be gone! I will take your glittering glow, and I will stroke my ego with it. Thank you. That said, I actually have, I'm ahead on my work tonight. I might take it a little easy after stream. If people want to do some, like, trial farming, especially, like, Endwalker trial farming, I'd be down. Or something like that. Yes. Oh no, where's Tethys going with this? It is, MSQ is better with friends. I cannot emphatically agree anymore. Please be wind. This has to be wind, right? Right? Like, it's gotta be wind. Oh, thank God. I was about ready to scream fuck really loudly.
Warrior, light, beloved. Hydaelyn, all made.
I see we got Hydaelyn's answering machine.
Like to none known. Harker. Receiver, blessing, more.
Cries in 53 astral totems. Tam, I know you're suffering. And Bahamut was held in prison by Allian so that his form was there and he couldn't be resummoned. Well, it gets complicated. It's not so much just that he couldn't be resummoned, it's so that he couldn't die and he was basically used as a battery to be able to send energy down to the Crystal Tower. To, like, take energy from the sun, store it in Dalamudin himself, and send that energy down.
So
oh,
falls the Lord of Mists, as did all others before him. How many times does this make, warrior of light? Ah,
you're not wrong.
How much you have grown, far beyond the limits of mere mortals.
He has what we seek.
Damn. So I would suggest, Decoy, are you here? I would suggest that a tombstone is probably roughly, maybe slightly smaller than that, but about that size. That's what we should come to expect. Now, I mean, that's not...
I see you have regained the blessing of light, albeit at a fraction of its former strength.
If you, like, took off the wings, it would be, like, about that size-ish. Maybe a little smaller. Ah, yes, female lava. Yeah.
And to you as well, warrior of light, for saving us the effort of slaying Bismarck.
I don't feel like she shares that much personality-wise with him, other than being an Ascian.
Now that the key is within our grasp, the path to the heavens shall at last be laid bare.
Ah, yes, I see you too did watch Laputa. The amount that Azisla is just Castle in the Sky, and this like that this a lot of the elements of this back half are just parts from Castle in the Sky. It's pretty funny to me. Look, if you're gonna crib, it's a good thing to crib from. Don't get me wrong. Ah, yes, the way all good guys laugh. I don't know if you can eat Primal. Because they're not a physical form in the same way. I'm trying to remember where it is that it's talked about, but they're not like a body. Like, I know they're a body made of aether, which sounds silly because bodies are made of aether.
The wrongs of antiquity be righted, and man reclaim the reins of history.
I have to think on that. I don't know why my gut instinct is to say that wouldn't work, but I couldn't tell you why exactly. Also, actually, eating a primal would probably be really bad, because unless you had the echo or some sort of protection, it would probably cause you to be tempered over time. Because just ambient being around it would be dangerous, and to consume it, we know, I mean, it's dangerous enough to consume a crystal. No. I'd like to point out that, like, we treat Azisla as such old hat, but can you imagine when Heavensward came out and that got revealed, and you're just like, you know? Evil Laugh needs some work, but then again, he's not as sprightly as he used to be. Good artist borrow, great artist steal. Yeah, me. You can BBQ them Primal Rib. You can eat anything if you're stupid and or dedicated enough. You can consume it. Also, probably be supercharged with etheric imbalance. Yeah, it definitely would be. Was that someone in our party? Oh, yes. Okay. Everything is edible. Not everything is edible more than once. That's a good way of putting it, Tam. Delayed things. Yeah, no worries. Forgive me, Elio. Had I known what was happening, mayhap I could have done something to stop them. Alas, Wedge and I were still sealed within the engine room, and heard not of the struggle until it was over. Who was giving shit to Alfino about this? Was it Tethys? Dude, he was facing off against multiple the Heavensward. He doesn't even have the echo. Of course they wouldn't be able to free his ass. And now, for all our efforts, the Archbishop holds the very thing we sought to keep from him. But all is not lost, for we yet live, and we know the destination. Let us give chase and bring an end to their machinations. Though we failed to secure the key, we must not forget we succeeded in ridding the realm of another primal, and prevented the Vanu lands from being consumed in so doing. The Zundu, at least, shall be glad of our deeds this day. Let us go and inform Chief Sonu of our victory. Sid and the others will need moments to attend to the enterprise, besides. Is that a Lala with a koala on her head? That was definitely a Lala with a koala on her head. A Lala koala.
Wait, something is amiss.
Yeah, Demins, that's totally fine. Yeah, I don't mind. Who was it then who was saying that then? When I think of someone giving Alphino shit, I just think of you, Tethys.
And they have already secured the area.
Reveal yourselves at once!
I'll be honest, I was not expecting the Vanu outfit as I came out of the Knight's quarters.
And there I was, expecting more beastmen. Who are you?
There might be multiple levels to Van Hydrus as a reference point, but it's also the Warring Triad is obviously a reference to Final Fantasy VI, and so that's also where if every some of it's more tenuous than others, but every Legion, Guardian Legion, has a reference to the game corresponding for Final Fantasy game, like the 14th Legion, original Gaius to 14, 7th Legion, Meteor, 7. 12. There's some arguments that it's like the confluence of Vayne, Solidor, and Xenos. There's some other examples too, but yeah. I look at his armor and I'm like, that helmet's a bit much, my friend. Like, I'm just waiting, like, just someone put to sort through it.
For the disappearance of our scouts, but I see now that I was mistaken. Just as Wire observed, the Warrior of Light is wont to appear at the most inopportune times.
The Warrior of Light? He who bested Van Baelsar?
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a problem that it's here, but like, it is wild that Varys is here, and that this is the moment that you first meet him in the game. You know? It is kind of wild that it's like, oh, okay. But then again, since seems like he's going to be the overarching antagonist, and then ultimately is so much more there's more to it than that, is, it's not, I think it almost retroactively is better that it's here and not some super momentous thing. He still carries the, weight of office.
It would seem that the famous hero of Eorzean seeks Azizlar as well. Hardly unexpected. The secrets of the Allagan's power to bind icons to their will could scarcely fail to interest the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You know as well as we what will ensue should these insatiable creatures be allowed to roam free. That their very existence threatens the life of this star. We but disagree on the solution to the problem.
Genocide has ever been the Empire's favored recourse. And that is why we will continue to oppose your every attempt to claim Eorzea.
Remember that most Garleans are physically stronger than your average here.
You do not hesitate to speak your mind, even when your every word could be your last. Alas, your sentiments betray the narrowness of your view. The fate of Eorzea and its inhabitants is of little concern next to the fate of the world. Tis my solemn charge as Emperor to bring the icons to heel. If this requires the extermination of certain elements, then so be it.
No, don't! They are not his thralls!
They didn't even fucking summon him. Lucia! Sorry, I probably shocked someone with that again.
Where did that come
Did she come
from?
in on Maggie? Please tell me she comes in on Maggie.
Take cover!
Oh, no, right, it's the white one. It's like her own personal one.
Your Radiance, we must withdraw.
The Agrius Mark II. Actually, no, what is it called?
We shall meet again, Warrior of Light. On that you have my word.
So Garlemald too has designs on Azizlar. But why would
No,
the
that's actually
Emperor
an Aurora
himself
class.
elect to lead the expedition?
We don't get a name for it. That's sad. Actually, maybe it's an EE2. Yeah, we get more on them. The airship is strategic boon. No, we don't get it named. Though it might be fair to call it Aurora because it's called an Aurora class, and the Agrius class is also named for the Agrius, so maybe it's called the Aurora. Powered armor, Lala with a koala and a Walla Walla. But also current winner of the stupidest hat award, Varys. Yeah, it is true, but my neck hurts now. Yeah, genuinely curious how the Garlean crown doesn't slip off his head. So there's a couple ways. One of which is bullshit magic. I mean, not magic, obviously, because of Garleans. But I assume that it's actually like hooked, like also connects into the, like his hair at the base of his scalp as well. So, thank God Imperial. Oh, they're just like phenomenal posture. He's such a dick. It's interesting. He's a dick, but I love that he's not just like a two-dimensional villain. That he's actually portrayed as like driven with. He's in his own mind a humanitarian, and that's so much more fascinating. He's wrong, but thank God Imperial troops don't know how to promptly carry out orders. Boom! One hell of an entrance. I love her. She's such a bad bitch. Yeah. It's almost like a conscription from occupied territories doesn't necessarily give you the troops with the highest loyalty scores. Yep. Just a thought. This is almost like Tolkien's War of Five Armies. Yeah, I guess like if you think about the different sides, right? You think about the tribal groups are with us, the Ishgardians are with us, the Eorzeans versus the Heavensward and the Garleans. Yeah, I mean if you treat it like that, you could definitely get something out of that. Yeah. You know, it's kind of weird that I have so much vitriol for Emmett Sulcanzinos and not that much for Varys. I don't think he's well-written character. I don't think he's as deep. Nearly as much, but I do think he's well written. I would say he's well written. I don't think he's as good as some of those characters. But I do think if you think about what you get with him here, I think you think about what you get him at the Gimlet Dark and stuff. I think when you get him, he is well done. That's just my take. I'm a sucker for vehicle lore and fiction, Halo, Star Trek, Star Wars, so I'll take any sources I can get on Garlean vehicles. Well, Des, I have a bunch of information I can make do for you later. Humanitarian like a vegetarian. What? I can't tell if that's a joke or not. Lucia coming in with the superhero landing. Yeah. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would stand less than 20 paces from the Emperor of Garlemald. Varys is also Galvis in the flesh. I assume the commander that accompanied him must be the legatus of whom the centurion spoke. Forgive me. This is neither the time nor the place for such idle speculation. Pray, return to the Enterprise at once. It occurs to me that our friends may have run afoul of our Imperial forces as well. I have yet to appraise the Chief Sonu of all that has occurred, but once I have, we will rejoin you at the airship. The armor? I had sent it here as a precautionary measure. Yelling. No, okay, back to Sid. There is a name for the airship? Also, yes, the humanitarian lamp is a joke. There's a name for the airship. Are you asking if there is, or are you stating that there is? Is it stated somewhere in the lore, or like in like the text for Heavensward or something? Like when it runs aground, it doesn't. Someone mentions it. I think doesn't Vahydrus mention it later? I'm sure so. Sightseeing log level 36. That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you, Tam. Yep. If you want to just say it off the top, whatever it is. I was like, because I thought for sure it was stated somewhere. The Gradian. Interesting. Those are smart kids get speeches at high school. Thank the 12 you're alive, Elio. When the battleship appeared and fired on the village, we feared the game was up for you and Alfino. What in the seven hells happened out there? Fucked around and found out. First the Archbishop turns up in the Thanasian in tow, and now the goddamn Emperor pays us a visit. With it, what is this? A procession of notable bastards? That's a fucking, what a great, dude, that'd be like a great album name. Procession of Notable Bastards. Ray, can you like note that one down? That might also go for the insults. Who's next? The Keeper of the Seventh Bloody Gate? Keeper of the Seventh Bloody Gate. It's Keeper of the Seventh Gate. Keeper of the Seventh Gate. I don't remember mentions of that elsewhere. That's fascinating. No one so notable, Master Garland. I'm happy to report the Zindu were overjoyed to learn of Bismarck's demise. Chief Sonu sends his warmest regards, Elio. There was much talk of westerly winds. Miraculously, none suffered lasting harm during the raid. It would seem the Zundu were taken entirely unawares and wisely chose to offer no resistance. I sense they have no more to fear from the Empire for the present. At least had the Emperor truly been intent on their extermination, Ok Zundu would have already been leveled. Plainly, Varys is only interested in reaching Asisla. Speaking of which, if you're all ready to continue the chase, the Enterprise is as well, shall we? I guess if you think about it in accordion structure, like, things are happening, then you have to pause, you need to pause because of what's going on with, Asisla, because of the shields and stuff, and so then you switch that over to doing the stuff with Y'shtola. Like, I think it's a good pacing. Procession of Notable Bastards is my brand now. My new band, yeah. That's what Disney should rename its Hall of Presidents. Demins, you felt ready with that. Named after Greek mythological giant base killed by Heracles. Oh, thanks, Tam. Thanks for that. I was curious about where the name might come from. That makes sense. Least you wonder, Wedge was able to calculate the heading indicated by the beam of light emitted by the key. If Asisla lies in that direction, we'll find it. The Soliel may have laid us on, but she's no Enterprise. We'll catch them. You'll see. It was the first joke that popped in my head, and it felt compelled to voice it. No. No. The origins of Lucia revealed. Also, don't forget her sister is crazy.
I did not think that I would ever have occasion to pilot a suit of Magitech armor again. Least of all under these circumstances.
What? No way!
My full name is Lucia Go Junius, and I was born a citizen of Garlemald.
Go away, let's go.
Ah, that explains it. When we first met in Ishgard, I very nearly called you Livia.
Livia is from ARR.
Livia?
The crazy one.
Livia Junius, the tribunus who served under Gaius van Baelsar.
Aye, she was my sister, though we spent little time together. After our parents were killed in an uprising, we were sent to live in different households, setting us on separate paths.
Ah. So Go is as a name for Garleans can mean multiple things, as most of them can. But the one that's referring to her clearly is the Primus Frumentiarius, commander of local and foreign operatives. So, which makes sense because she's a senior intelligence officer, basically. The other things that Go can represent are provincial magistrates, supervisors of public morality, rule over imperial provinces, rule over imperial. She's clearly not a ruler, so it must be referring to her as a senior intelligence officer.
Livia felt at home on the battlefield and chose to become a soldier, while I underwent training to become a spy.
Then, Ishgard was...
My mission. It was believed that Allagan relics of great worth were stored in the vault, and I was sent to investigate. Though I was given little information at the time, I now suspect I was searching for the key we but recently lost. And then I met Sir Emmerich.
God, this game really does love its white-haired women.
'Twas his usefulness to my mission which prompted me to approach him, but I soon found myself drawn to him for other reasons.
Bound to go out
He
now.
too was a prisoner of his past, judged for his heritage as a bastard son of the Archbishop. Yet unlike my sister and I, he did not curse his fate. He simply rose above it. In time, I came to realize that I had found a man worth following, and a new home besides. And when I subsequently confessed all to Sir Emmerich, he was good enough to accept me into his service.
I do not question your loyalty to Sir Emmerich. 'Tis your loyalty to your sister which concerns me.
I have long been of the opinion that those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
That's important for later.
My sister fought for her convictions and for those she held dear. So do I. So must we all.
Well, I, for one, am happy to welcome a fellow Garlean to our merry band. Especially one who can make Magitech armor sing.
It's worth remembering that, like, 14 has a lot of major themes, but honestly, I've never thought about it quite so clearly, but I find that those who are stuck in the past lose sight of the future is arguably absolutely one of them as well. I mean, have you seen that giant-ass balloon on the top of it?
Chief, we should be getting close.
Once we break through those clouds, we'll be right where the light was pointing. Right where Aziz's Law should be.
Hold on, everyone!
Tam, your sarcasm makes you hard to parse for me sometimes. Can you blame them? White hair rocks. Could it just be that the Enterprise has more cargo capacity than it ever really used? Yeah, I mean, the thing is that as much as Magitech Reapers probably weigh quite a bit, the thing is that the lift capacity for especially the Bronco, or the Enterprise, you know, because it's a Bronco class, but it is a modified version. We know specifically it's even better. That's why it was important to use it for getting to Garuda, right? Actually, I don't think it's a highly modified Bronco class, right? Because if you think about it, the Bronco class, like the Soliel, was a Bronco class as well. So it is a mega modified version.
Chief, is that Allegan? Aye. There's no mistaking their handiwork.
Yeah, I totally agree with you about myths and epithets and stuff, Tim.
What was that?
Some sort of barrier.
She won't hold, Chief! She's breaking up!
I've lost the auxiliary propeller!
Sid, it's no use! We must return to Ishgard and find another way!
God damn it all! Why do the Allegans always have to make everything so bloody complicated?
Fucking mood, Sid! Fucking mood. I do like that they're having Sid, like, say exactly what the fucking what the player is feeling right then. We'd have thought Sid would be ready for an Allegan facility having an impassable barrier. That's a good point. I keep looking down to the chat and I just keep seeing the remnants of fighting Bismarck and just someone screaming, "That's not my fetish, sir." We barely finished repairing the damage incurred during our sky fishing trip. On the other hand, any landing you can walk away from, as they say. I can only presume the Soliel passed through the barrier unscathed. It would certainly explain why the Vanu called it a key. Assuming Sid is correct, and I have no reason to think that he is not, the Vanu's key is required to pass through the barrier protecting the Aziz's Law. But even without it, we must find a way to reach the Isle. I shall have everyone convene at the seat of Lord Commander, that we might discuss how best to proceed. As before, make yourself known to the Guardsman when you arrive, and he will show you in. Aye, God's thinking about all the repairs. Oh. Aye, God's thinking about all the repairs we have to make is giving me a bleeding headache. I wonder, does she have a name? Maggie. Well, no, she's white, so Waggy. I'm going with Waggy. Because, fuck you. That was screaming, that's not my fetish. Regret nothing and apologize for this. What is it? Probably, oh, whoops. Does she have a name? IDK, let's shove a soul inside her and to her find out. Well, like, you know, Mammoth Hearts are not quite forged anima, but yeah. Want to see Scans of the Kive Archivist? Well, here, just let me, No. Back to the stream. But actually, what was Issa saying? Well, we don't have those yet. Oh, well. But sign up for our Patreon anyways. Yes, your Patreon. Please sign up for our Patreon. It helps support us and makes everything go a long way. We can help support the entire team and get to a place where we can do this stuff full time more. And also, you can support us, give lovely rewards, and get places, things like your name above in the credits. And it's my birthday. Well, it's not my birthday. In 2 days, it's my birthday. 3 days. 3 days? A certain amount of time is my birthday. I never, literally growing up, ever told anyone it was my birthday. So, like, this is the one time. This is the first time I've actually been like, well, I'm going to bother self-promoting. That was me. Sid is peak pre-dad joke, daddy. Can't disagree. I mean, I've heard people shout that they crave Daddy Sid's attention. Ah, you returned. Sir Emeric and the others are await you within. At some point this year in the year is Elio's birthday. That's true. I mean, well, perhaps it's possible that I have a birthday outside of the year, though. I refuse to have any more B days. I'm stuck at that age, and he can't change it. I'm young enough that birthdays are still nice.
In summary, the Isle owes its lofty position to the industry of the Allagons. And we can be all but certain that the Archbishop and his cronies are enjoying the view from its top.
I see.
If we are to join them, we will first need to pass through the Isle's etheric barrier, which is, alas, more powerful than most. Powerful enough to make a mess of a perfectly good airship at any rate. As far as I can gather, the barrier mechanism draws ether from the surrounding environment and polarizes its elemental aspect to produce what is, in effect, a wall of lightning.
It seems plain that without the Vanu's key, any attempt to reach the Isle will end in failure.
Alas, the key was careless enough to leave without us, and I don't think the Vanu keep a spare.
Master Garland, based on your experience, is there no other way that we might breach the barrier?
Well, in the past, we've beaten similar barriers by nullifying them with elemental converters. But the one we're up against this time dwarfs aught we've encountered before. The Enterprise simply isn't large enough to bear the requisite amount of crystals.
Garlean's going to be of a lot of different heights.
To nullify Leviathan's command of the sea. A veritable mountain of crystals that could only be borne by lashing 2 galleons together to form a twin vessel, scarcely able to propel itself, much less fly.
Ulysses is a pretty young man. He's not a full-grown adult.
That said, we're not without options. If it isn't feasible to nullify the barrier, we might try piercing it.
How?
We create a ram of condensed ether and mount it on my ship. There's just one problem. I don't have the faintest idea how to build one. It's going to take a true authority in the field, I reckon.
Would that the archons were still with us.
But yesterday evening, I chanced to find Mistress Tataru in unusually high spirits. Assuming I understood her excited ramblings correctly, she has acquired a clue, pointing to the whereabouts of one such individual.
Dude, just the lines.
Truly.
Ha! Fortune favors the righteous, eh? Well then, let's not waste any time. While you go and look for our missing friend, I'll work on modifying the Enterprise. Her hull will need reinforcing to bear the punishment, not to mention a mount for the ram. Just you wait, my pretty. By the time I'm finished, you'll be an airship reborn.
Roll credits. Dude, we should split up the game into like sections and then have everybody in the community go through the game section by section and find every reference to it being days, moons, months, like, and just see like if we can explicitly prove that it has to have been at least more than a year, because I swear there are multiple references to moons passing in just expansions of one like conversation alone. There's just literally no way chronologically, just from textual statements, it's only been a year. And also the like there's a lot of evidence to like push back against it. It's still ARR, what the fuck? Final Fantasy XIV Airship Reborn. There are 3 NPCs example ARR dead my fingers. I mean, people are also crave Dilkrat. There are 3 NPCs that exemplify Peak Daddy to me. Sid Garland, Gundabald, and Whisket. Graha would get up and dance on the table and fall down and start crying about how much he loves his friends after one non-alcoholic beer. That's true. I agree with Demins on that. I emphatically agree with Demins there. A lot of dudes in the games are the kind of dudes you want to catch a beer with. Sid, thank Gritistinia. Most of them, yeah, really. The last one is more to watch them go down after once. That's what Demins was referencing. But yeah, so to answer your question about Garleans come in a lot of different heights. For instance, actually, if you look at Varys, Varys is like famed for being incredibly tall, even amongst Garleans. So like, it's not there's a variety. It's not just all Garleans are tall. They tend towards being tall, like, and they have, it's normal for them to be of Elzen height, but it's not like mandatory. Like not Julius, Livia and Lucia are different heights. Oh, welcome back, Elio. How goes the mission? Did you manage to catch up with the Archbishop and his cronies? Nope. So you're finally arrived at Azizla, only to find your way barred by some sort of barrier. Typical. But it's not all bad news. I made progress in the search for our friends. Don't worry, Elio. We'll get to Azizla yet. When you fled the Victory Feast, you used the ancient watercourse beneath the city, right? Well, importantly, Sildine waterway. Well, shortly after things went back to normal in Ul'dah, I asked Marshal Tarupin to have the tunnels searched. A logical place to look. It was there that you lost contact with Minfilia, Thancred and Y'shtola, was it not? Thank you, Demins. Dare I ask what the Marshal found? I don't actually know. Pippin's message just said that there had been a discovery, and that we were to come to the Halls of Flame at our earliest convenience. I dare not think what it might be. We shall depart at once, Tataru. Let Urianger know to join us in Ul'dah. He will wish to be present as well. Yes, sir. Sid, the shortest Garlean. Well, it depends. I mean, if you're including children, like the shortest full-grown Garlean, this might be possible. You have to compare them. Also, you also have to say male, because there's also female Garleans. Also, you can include half Garleans, because if you include half Garleans, you have, oh my god, I'm forgetting her name. But from Sorrows. The little Garlean in the Empire. I will die for Minnesota Tataru. I'm glad you love it, Demins. What did Demins say? Oh, Jubilant. I have a bad feeling that multiple people on the Discord want to see that fanfic. We are grateful for your assistance, Marshal Tarupin. Ah, you saved her grace and the father both. 'Tis the least I can do to repay you. Forgive my impatience, Marshal, but your missive mentioned the discovery? Yes, of course. As per your request, I had my men scour the waterways. Almost immediately, we encountered a difficulty. An entire section of the tunnel had collapsed. With the mineral concerned cooperation, however, we were able to remove the rubble, which yielded the battered bodies of a dozen crystal braves. Go on. Be at ease, Master Alfino. Your friends were not among the deceased. That alone is cause for hope. And then there's this. You stole his wand. You stole his wand! Exactly, Tataru. I had assumed as much. If I may, Marshal. Oh, this is when he takes off his hood. Oh, no, he's doing... Oh, right, that doesn't happen till later. Look, the first time you see him, it's without his hood. Like, the first time you see him, he's just... He isn't... I don't think he takes it off, you just see him without it, because of his different outfit. 'Tis as I did surmise, judging by the etheric imprint that lingereth yet upon this wand, it hath assured and been employed in the casting of a most uncommon magic. Namely, the very first that man did conceive to traverse the great distance, and the ancient precursor to all methods of travel that utilize the lifestream, flow. The spell entailed the reduction of the corporeal form into constituent aether that the caster might enter the lifestream and ride its currents, thereby, unlike the teleportation magics of modern times, it requireth not a lengthy incantation, that Y'shtola should choose to employ such a spell, bespeaketh the need for haste. All of which would suggest she managed to escape. Would that it were so simple. Now I'm just thinking of fucking, Hail Caesar. But it were so simple. Know that the scholars of Sharlayan forbade the use of that spell, and with good reason. The caster hath but limited control over his course. For every mage who came safe onto his destination, another would be set adrift in the lifestream, never to emerge. What? No, no, you can't mean! Be not downcast, my friend, for there is yet hope. 'Tis like that Y'shtola's passage hath left traces in the lifestream. Could we but follow these from this point, at which the magic was involved, we may yet find her. To the Sildi excavation site, then. Our thanks for your aid, Marshal. Do not mention it. I shall pray for the Lady Y'shtola's safe return. You ever, like, look the wrong way with your eye and all of a sudden it gives you an instant headache? Shit! Sam Fisher's here! A one-handed conjurer thaumaturge item must be a relic 1.0. No, because like you can use those wands and relics and stuff for when you start as classes. Like you can use that exact same wand. I'm glad I have music turned off in case it's got it. You have to appreciate the effort people put into this game. Okay, I have to know what they're playing. This game. 2.0 also, but I was mostly joking. I'm doing Hildebrand story with EU Tethys. Oh, I need to do more Hildebrand on Elio. I should probably do that off stream with over on like Discord on Twitch or something. I'm on EU Tethys and I have Tony from Saturday Night Fever Glam going on and I regret absolutely nothing. Yes, fuck does that hurt. They were playing a random cacophony of noises when I passed them. Yes, but those wands were holdover. Yes, 1.0 because transferred their characters over. That's why they go away after a while. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I knew they weren't like new to 2.0. I just mean that they were a lot of like wands and stuff were still available in 2.0. Evidence of Y'shtola's passage will have been made faint by time. Mayhap some few scant traces yet remain to guide our steps. You're good, Tam. I also take things at very, very face value, so it's partly on me as well. Oh, nope. Now I get the Sam Fisher joke. Y'shtola went to space? You did miss the whale dust. Sorry, we tried to invite you. The trail leadeth to the north and the east, unto the bosom of the Twelveswood. I'm sorry, Dest. Are you certain? Aye, there is no mistake. Thither hath Y'shtola journeyed. And yet the Gridanians have reported no sightings. We must take this to mean she is still adrift. If it be so, I do fear for our friend. Contrary to its name, the life stream is more akin to a raging torrent, lingering over long in the midst of this maelstrom, and the aether that formeth one's soul shall surely be scattered, ne'er to be reformed. We have no time to waste, Oriange. Pray, explore all possible options for reversing the effects of this forbidden magics. Elio, Tataru, we three shall press on to Gridania and petition the Elder Seedseer's aid. Dang, all good. Not your fault. I was exhausted. Oh, I'm glad you got some sleep, Dest. You pulled a me. I do that all the time. Yep. I was about to say I would have expected that from Willow more than from you, Dest. I've definitely been there too, though. Ooh. Yeah, we were asking about you leaning against the tea tree. Yeah. Yeah. I'm left my ass off. They were like monkey see, monkey do, turning in unison. You'll know Minfilia is close when you get the sudden urge to return to the waking set. If you have an urge to return, isn't Minfilia always in your heart? It is said that the elementals perceive the life stream. If, as we suspect, Y'shtola is still adrift in its mists, they may be able to find her. But if we are to appeal to them for their assistance, we must needs choose to do so through their chosen, the Pagel. Oh my god. It is imperative, therefore, that we speak with Connie Senna without delay. Hold on, Y'shtola. We're coming for you. I have already requested an audience with the Elder Seedseer. She will receive us in the Lotus Stand presently. We need but speak with the Conjurer yonder to be admitted. The Yonder Conjurer? Yonder Conjurer is likely to wander? If they hold the office of the Warrior of Light, are they the Wanderer? Does that make the Warrior of Light... If you're the Warrior of Light's over there, is it the Yonder Wanderer Conjurer? If he's doing the / think emote, does that make him the Wander Yonder Conjurer who ponders? Just saying. I'll stop now. Oh, no voices. Be welcome, my friend, and speak freely. I gather your suit will omit no delay. It will not, my lady. Pray, forgive the abrupt nature of our request, but it is a matter of life and death. I see. As you say, we must needs act swiftly if we are to free Y'shtola from the ungentle pull of the life stream. And as you have surmised, we cannot do this unaided. However...
In requesting the Elemental's assistance to find Y'shtola, you must needs be aware of one difficulty.
Why did they just have the whole thing voiced?
Of the fundamental difference between man and elemental.
That being?
In perceiving the world around him, man relies upon senses such as sight and sound. For the sake of convenience, he gives names to such things as are near or dear to him. Being formed of pure ether, however, such concepts are foreign to the elementals. Instead, they perceive by observing the ebb and flow of the energies of life. So profound a division cannot be bridged with simple discourse. The elementals' voices stir not the air, and thus reach not our ears, while our words are but wind to them. Though we seers can commune with them through feelings, naught that we can impart will serve to aid them in identifying Y'shtola. Nay, they must needs be presented with ether which is akin to hers. If you could but find a family member.
Ymitra!
Oh! I know just the person! Y'shtola has a sister who came to live in Gridania. She told me about her once.
Oh, that is most fortunate indeed. Pray, seek this sister out then, and bring her to Evershade.
Okay, I just noticed something that I'm never going to be able to unnotice. This female Eorzean, I think that it's possible that the thing is... Nope. That's maybe inopportune placements for the rivets.
There, we shall petition the Great One's aid in finding your lost companion.
I was hoping you point out the upside down cow and the other seats. Dimmins! I literally point that out every single. I point out the unicorn in every single goddamn cutscene. And the one time I literally saw it this time, and I went, I'm not gonna point it out this time because I always point out the fucking unicorn. So you know what I said? Didn't say anything, and then you fucking say something. I cursed you, Dimmins. Also, yes, yonder conjurer with penchant to wander, wondering if he needs to do some needs to see a launderer. Yes, it looks like a unicorn. She must lead the most boring life. Well, remember, she holds council in the Lotus Stand and is meeting people constantly, but also she has a lot of responsibilities. And she's also, like, she was the one who lingered on the battlefield at Cartno longest after people left. Like, Merlwyb left almost immediately, and so did, I see Cow. Okay, well, we're resolving this. Unicorn. Did you think you were going to start today by staring? Well, I can start. Did you think that today was going to have a point in time where you were just going to stare at Cunny's on his chest for a bit while you discussed about cows and unicorns? I did not. I'm doing some of this changes slightly if you start as Summoner. If you start as Arcanist and do Summoner, I think you know Ymitra, and that affects some of it. I don't remember when that changes for those voice. I don't know if it changes the voice lines or not. It definitely changes the text dialogue. If memory serves, Y'shtola's sister is named Ymitra. She's supposed to be a member of the Sons of St. Gwynak. Anyway, she spends most of her time around Apocalu Falls. From what I recall, let's look for her there. Cow with a mohawk. The funny thing, too, is, Decoy, I can't tell if you're being utterly sincere or just obstinate. Sloppy! Guys, when we get to Bael'Salar's Wall, and we're not that far off, I want an ocean of sloppy. Utterly sincere. God damn it. I think it's just a couple of dialogue things. Yeah, Silvercocker, your acquaintance with Ymitra is mentioned in the dialogue. Is it mentioned in the voice, though? It's definitely mentioned in the text. Question. Can do, provided I'm not in there with you. Oh! Okay. Like in the dungeon. Yep. That's what you meant. Moving on. Yes, is there something you require? Lady Ymitra, it is an honor to meet you. My name is Alfino Levier, and this is Tataru Taru. I wanted sloppy. So you are my sister's comrades in the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. When I heard that you people were being pursued, I desperately sought to reach Stola, but all mine efforts were to no avail. Now I know why, a forbidden spell of all things, that she would be so reckless. But what's done is done, and thank you for bringing word to me. Needless to say, I should be glad to help. Though we were born of different mothers, our veins course with the same father's blood. You know, keepers of the sun. Or seekers of the sun. I hope this will be enough for the elementals. Come, let us make for the Evershade at once. God damn it, Tan. Des, what do you... Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, speaking of sloppy. Yeah, those rivets, though. Everyone wants some sloppy. What have I begun? The scene that you all came for. And the scene that you all came for.
Let us begin. Raya O, Arun, if you would. Hearken to me, O great ones. Pray give yourselves to the life stream, a drifting soul to find.
You know, it's interesting how this will never come up again.
Please, Y'shtola. Please come back to us.
Blinkstar, are you implying that Y'shtola has a child? God damn it, Dest.
There. Now.
Because you don't have to have a child to have dummy mommy energy, but you do have to have a child to be a MILF. Okay, enhanced shadow make that a lot worse. In terms of... polygons. Well, things were seen. MILF is a state of body? What? Honestly, I can only imagine what kind.
A room has been readied at the roost. Pray, bear her thither at once.
But she's not that old. She's not even the oldest of the Scions. She's in her 20s. And you certainly would never stream it. At least on this tube.
All that remains is to pray, my friends.
Oh, you stole her. Just seeing her face again, it's... You know, I've been so worried. I also had a bit more to Alfie's "it'll be a sight I'll never forget" line. I'm really starting to wonder. Yeah, definitely mom, Dami Mama energy, and if not an actual MILF. I mean, also, give me a MILF without Dami Mommy energy. Y'shtola is resting within an inn room, though she's still unconscious. The signs are positive. The conjurers say she's in sound health and should awaken before long. Isn't that wonderful? Now, while we wait for Y'shtola to wake up, I thought we'd take the opportunity to finish my little surprise for her. It's something I've been working on for a while now, in the hope that she'd one day return to us. It wants for just a couple more items before it's ready. I've already placed orders for these items. Could I ask you to retrieve them for me? One is within the Leather Workers Guild, and another within the Conjurers Guild. Speak with Mistress Jiva and Brother Isumiyan, and they ought to take care of you. So considering the traditional mount of the Conjurers, the unicorn, do you think this was an inspiration for Kanye Sena's unicorn necklace? I had never put that together, Tethys, but I'm going with that. Yeah. I like that. That is now a fan theory I subscribe to. That is definitely a headcanon, as I don't think there's anything to explicitly tie them, unless there's like a description in the Conjurer mount or something. But I'm definitely running with that. We'll never have to worry about sleeping Scions ever again. Not once. Yeah. I don't even know why I'm going this way. I'm surprised. Hey, Tethys, do you know, like, when they first made, like, 2.0, were people, like, able to break geometry with the Dragoon at all? Because I feel like there's so many ways that that skill could go wrong. Oh. Oh. That headache is worsening. What skill? The backflip. So, like, think about this, right? That feels like you could have all sorts of collision issues go on with that. I'm pretty sure the Dragoon backflip is only a linear movement. The animation has a jump. Yeah, but, like, it's not the jumping over things I'm so much worried about. It's more that, like, the directional movements. So, like, if you think about, like, boundary barriers, like, a lot of times there can be ways to, like, get in between planes if you have, like, a linear movement that's fast enough and consistent enough. So I guess if they keep the speed down low enough, it probably wouldn't be a problem, but, What is it? I'm a very busy woman, so be quick about it. If you wish to place an order, speak with Randall. Him? Here to revive an order. Retrieve an order. For Mr. Jataru, you say? You've come at a good time. I finished but moments ago. It was no small coup working it to her specifications, but I did it nonetheless. Payment has already been settled. However, did that girl come by a chimerical hide anyways? You needed either balls of steel or bottomless coin purse, and it seemed to me she had neither. My friend, she had both. I never played Dragoon until after Heavensward, so I don't know. No one really played Dragoon in AR because they were one of the weakest DPS. Interesting. And that's why Heavensward was the way it was, so that they could get their due. Severely underestimate Tataru there, yeah. She's by far the scariest character in the game. The tears of a phoenix and the words of a politician. Never doubt the crafting and money-making skills of a Lalafell. It's true. You've heard of Fear the Old Blood. Fear the crafting Lalafell. You are come to Stiglane Fane, the home of the Conjurers Guild. How may I assist you? Ah yes, Mr. Shitaru's order, as requested, has been sanctified in the sight of the elementals. I know not... Oh, that's how she got this is the staff. This is what we're receiving. They talk about this in EE1. I know not what she intends for the staff. Oh, but for it is the most singular artifact. Even one possessed of my experience would struggle to wield it. So, fun fact, if you actually look at his... here. Ah, fuck. If you look at Isumiyan's staff, it has Eorzean on it, and it says, "Thou art that, and that is all." Which is true. Thou art that, and that is all. What makes her so frightening? Capitalism. I'm apparently falling apart, because, like, now I just scratched my throat there with that. Like, it wasn't even going low. It wasn't even, like, just hit me weird. Tataru rolled the most OP job. Capitalist. There's a reason that it's not even limited. Lalafell knows the ways to hide bodies and no one would ever think to blame the children. Oh my god, a queue for Duty Finder trial, and what do I get? Bismarck. Now I want a Bismarck. I want a donut. I'm gonna get a donut after this. Dee, thank you for making it so I can afford a donut. It says if you can read this, you are too close. Piss off. I definitely want that on my staff. On the bright side, it may not be on my literal staffs, but I have Tethys and Ray Ray, so it is spiritually on my staff. Ah, you're back. You have the items, I hope. Oh, it's precisely as I requested. A perfect match for the other pieces. Truly, Jiva is a master among masters. And the staff completes the surprise. Thank you so much, Elio. I can't wait to see what Y'shtola thinks of the surprise. Lest you wonder, she's doing very well, and the conjurers have left her in her sister's care. Let's go and pay them a visit, shall we? Staff and start a stave. Your staff. Oh, and then we're gonna start talking about my... Okay.
Y'shtola! I'm so glad you're back!
Tataru.
New Y'shtola voice. Even Y'shtola rubs the Lalafell head.
You are safe. Thank the 12. Something has changed about you, Alphino. Or mayhap the change is with me. I seem to sense the ether around me more keenly than before.
I am pleased to see you well again. Do you feel strong enough to talk?
Worry not. I am well enough.
You talking about my gay bulge, Blinkster?
Tell us then, what befell you after you fled the feast? We were told that there had been a tunnel collapse.
That was my doing. I brought the tunnel down that you and Minfidia might escape. At the last moment, I invoked a teleportation magic, in hopes of spiriting Thancred away at least. Needless to say, it did not go quite as planned, and I found myself adrift in the live stream. The others? Where are they? Did they not escape?
They remain unaccounted for. You are the only one we have been able to find. I am truly sorry. It was the Crystal Braves who pursued you that day. My hubris that led to our undoing.
No apologies are necessary, Alphino. You are not to blame for what occurred. know that were our comrades here, they would commend you for keeping the light of hope alive.
Don't worry. The others are alive and well, I'm sure of it. We just need to find them.
Indeed, Tataru. Let us find our friends and rebuild the Scions.
I mean, he's not singularly blamed, right? It was sabotage from within
There
and
is
from
the
without.
Alphino I remember, and I feel much the better for his return. 'Tis time I arose.
That reminds me. I have a change of clothes for you. I don't like to boast, but I made them myself. I learned how to weave while we're in Ishgard, you see.
Get thee gone. To an extent, sure, but I don't know that would have made it much big of a difference. Like, it still matters, but, like, it's not just his hubris. Because it was... Had he tried that idea even with less hubris, it still would have... They would have been manufactured as the way they were. They would have been... It's not that being more cautious wouldn't have helped, but I don't know that it would have necessarily saved it from happening at all.
Tataru has apprised me of all that took place in the aftermath of the assassination plot.
It's totally true.
It would seem I have been away for some while.
Yes, much and more happened during your absence. At present, we seek to follow the Archbishop to Azisla.
And you want for some manner of etheric ram to pierce the floating isle's protective barrier?
Eorzean.
We do. Might you be able to furnish us with one?
No, but she knows who can.
A means to prise open a hole in an Allagan barrier. And one large enough to admit an airship, no less.
I know, it's almost time.
Nay.
It's not today, though.
I lack the knowledge to devise
next week.
such a weapon. But I know of one who could. A leading figure in the field of etheric research, and one of the finest scholars ever to grace Sharlayan. Matoya, my former master.
Let me see. Onward. Okay, no, onward to Sharlayan. That's where I wanted to stop. Okay. So that's actually where I'm going to stop for today, because we're going to go into Sharlayan and we're going to be going into Gobby time! Gobby! We're going to be doing so much Gobby talking! It's going to be Gobby, 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 Gobby. But that will be next week. I also have a major headache. So it's actually probably good that this was the setup plan for ending here. I'm probably gonna go try to get food, rest a bit. However, if people want to play together tonight, be advised. I may hop on the Discord, looking for group. If people want to, I'm probably gonna be doing farming for Shadowbringers mounts, and Shadowbringers mounts and Endwalker mounts. If people are interested in joining me. Or maybe we'll do other things besides, but I'm definitely looking into taking a little bit of time off to do that. But yeah. Yeah, thank you, Eorzean. Yes, everybody's excited for Gobby time. Oh, thank you for the glow. Monday, Tuesday, MSQ replay. That's what we do. On Wednesday, new videos. On Thursdays, we have the Final Fantasy 1 replay with me and Aniri. Fridays is Lore Book Club, and then Saturdays are community live stream. Sundays I technically have off. However, at this point, with how horny all of you motherfuckers are, we probably should do something. Also, I will probably be off. There will be no event. There will be no community stream on Saturday because I will be out of town. And Friday is my birthday, so I will probably not be around for book club, but we'll see. Thursday is normal though. Ray Ray is in the middle of putting together a lot of archived footage productions for things like The Rising and the MSQ as well. So definitely go check out our other channel, Eorzean Plus, if you'd like to check out some of that fun stuff. She does lovely work. Thank you to my lovely, lovely, lovely mods, Tethys, for all of your hard work, and Ray Ray, as well as our newest mob, Jubilant. Thank you very much. If you like written lore, go check out our website, eorzeanarchives.com. If you like talking to me, talk to me right now. I'm right here. Hi. How are you doing? Life's hard. Money's hard to get. But it's gonna be okay. That's gonna be up. That's gonna be down. But this too shall pass. Hey, I'm not horny. Bullshit. I don't care what any of you say, unless basically there are two modes as far as I'm concerned with this chat, and that is y'all either horny or y'all ace, and there's no in between. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, since this is YouTube, we're contractually obligated to say like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and join, and yes, yeah, ba-boo, ba-dee, ba-da-ba-doo, ba-doo. You can't hear words. I can't, it's true. I am horny, though I do not apologize, unless this makes others uncomfortable, in which case I do apologize because boundaries are important. Demins, honestly, that's probably the perfect way to put it. 23 watching, 23 likes, woo! Feel better soon. I'm sure I will. I'm prone to getting migraines. I have my entire life. If I take some Excedrin, I'll be good. Some of you want the bun boys. Some of you want the cat girls. Some of you want the tall lads. And some of you are just weird. But I'm not here to judge. I ain't here to yuck your yum. In fact, I might be here to stir the pot a little and provoke your yum. To the point that maybe it's a little yuck, but still it will be a pleasant experience for at least one of us, if not me. Scroll up to my last comment. What did Catherine say? If you like holistic, willow bark tea is good for headaches or any other ache for that matter. Yeah, I've tried it before. It's usually not strong enough for me, but it's definitely a remedy I've tried before. Hey, classified as limited edition. I'm not weird. Chronic migraine sufferers, rise up, pop some Excedrin, hide under the covers. Exactly, Demins. That is what I've found works the best. Well, I'm gonna head out for now, and I will see you guys on Thursday for the MSQ replay, or the, not MSQ replay, the FF1 replay that me and Anir are doing, which is a bunch of fun. So, with that, cheers, everyone. Oh my god, it's only 5:45. Jesus, it's so early. I'm so usually, it's like half the time we usually do. Have a great day. Cheers. Ooh, I showed support. Oh no, that's just me.